first of all start out by saying thank you to everyone who braved a kind of coldish but still sort of nicest fall day out here at Luna Valley Farms. Thank you so much to the Rowley family, Nick and Courtney, for all of your support, and especially today. This is such a great opportunity to get to see so many folks up here in Decorah, and it means the world to us. And also, thank you to our amazing candidates who we're going to talk about a little bit later as well for that state house that we absolutely have to take back. And thank you to our fearless leader, Mark Smith, who's been, the leader of the Iowa House of Democrats for the last 4 years, and I've served under him for the last 4 years. And it has been an honor to be a state representative from Dubuque for the last, I will not walk that way, for the last 4 years. But I'll be honest, it's been tough, right? We were in the minority for the last 4 years. The first 2 that I got elected, at least we had a Democratic Senate that would stop the really, really bad stuff. And then, in 2016, we lost that Senate, and Rod Blum was still our congressman, and there I was, February of 2017, standing there after 2 days of fighting back against the gutting of collective bargaining in our state, where they went after our teachers, our corrections officers, our bus drivers, folks who were just working their tails off to provide a good life for their family like mine did. And they were watching as their government made their lives harder and for no good reason. And as I stood there to take my no vote, voicing my opposition to what I saw happening that day, I was thinking in my head of all of the things that I saw happening on the federal level as well. This is when they started talking about repealing the ACA, not replacing it with anything, going after folks with pre-existing conditions. And as I took that no vote with all of these thoughts in my head and looked up into that gallery, and I saw the faces of these hardworking Iowans again, just like my family, who had tears in their eyes, as I did, I remember thinking to myself that day, this is not how we treat people in my state or in my country, and I was going to do whatever I could to get it back. For Congress, because this is so dang personal for all of us. I mean, I grew up a daughter of a union pipe fitter welder. My mom actually just retired from the school district as a school secretary. And mind you, when she decided to retire, it was February of this year. And when I asked her, so why now, Mom? I thought for sure she was going to tell me that it had to do with my sister having a baby about 1.5 years ago. And he is very adorable. So I thought she just wanted to hang out with Jordy. And when I asked her this, she looked at me and she said, well, yeah, Abby, Jordy's really cute. But no, I'm retiring because I just turned 62. And I'm worried if I don't retire right now and take my Social Security at 62, that they're going to change the age that I can retire and still get my Social Security. And by the way, I'm worried about my IFRS. And I looked at her and I said, well, Mom, this is why I run for Congress. Because there are folks just like my mom here today, across Iowa, across our country, who live with that anxiety every single day. And then, the rest of my family, there were 4 kids. We were all first-generation college graduates, still paying off student loans, so, not always easy. And I remember being a 10-year-old, having to have Dad's business agent's name memorized, because you guys remember caller ID, the little white boxes? Yeah, so when his union rep's name showed up on caller ID, that meant my dad had a job. And I remember sometimes those months and, years where that name wasn't showing up very often and what that meant for my family. So again, it wasn't always easy, but that was okay because we were never told it was going to be easy. We were told, however, and we were promised that if you work hard, you can make it. Again, that is what we were told in this state and in this country, and that is what we were promised. And unfortunately, right now, that promise is being broken in Washington, D.C. And it's being broken by folks like Congressman Rod Blum and his buddies. And I got to tell you, Congressman Rod Blum and I, we actually got elected the exact same night in 2014. That's when he became our congressman, and that's when I became a state representative, but I assure you that's where our similarities end. You see, he spent the last 4 years in D.C. going out of his way, making it harder for my friends, my family, my neighbors, and the folks here at Luna Valley Farms. And in contrast, I've been in Iowa, in that state house, fighting hard, standing up for working families every single day. You know, the thing is, Martha can attest to this, I haven't just been a vote for working families, for education, for our wages, for health care. I've been a voice. And that's also why I decided to run for Congress, because I thought it was about time we send a voice, well, send Congressman Loebsack some more help, to Washington, D.C., and make sure they hear very loud and clear from the Iowans right here across this state, and also the folks across this country, that they have clearly forgotten. And I'll be honest with you, when I decided to do this, there were so many folks who said this could not be done. There is no way a 28-year-old woman, who, by the way, I am 29 now, so I will take all the years I can get. But 28 at the time, paying off student loans, come from a working class family, no money of my own to put into this. And you know, when I decided to do this, they went, you know, you chat with people you're supposed to chat with. I was locked out of some rooms because they didn't think it could be done. And they looked at me and they said, well, how are you going to take on a guy who can write himself $500,000 personal checks? And has. And oh, we don't know if, you know, maybe I was too far gone. We don't know if women can win there, or Democratic women. And you know what? I knew they were wrong, but I didn't exactly know why they were wrong until I got out there and I started talking to folks. I came up to Decorah actually one of the very first times. And I started having conversations, and what I realized very, very quickly is it didn't matter if I was in Decorah or Dubuque, or, you know, Osage, whether you were in rural Iowa or our cities, whether I was talking to Democrats, Republicans, no party. It didn't matter any of that, because here's the thing. 2018 wasn't going to come down to that. It was going to come down to our values. And who are we? Are we people who step up for our neighbors, or are we not? In the Iowa that I grew up in, when you need help, and I remember watching my mom do this, whether she'd call the neighbors for a cup of sugar or come down and watch the kids real quick, you show up. We show up for each other, we show up for our neighbors, and that is who we are every single time. So much hope. You see hope, remember that? We used to talk so much about hope back in 2008, and I think it's about time we start talking about hope again. Because look, this is also what I've realized, you know, the last couple of months, and also very specifically even the last week. We are not a state or a country that grows from fear and division. We grow from hope. Hope is why you get up in the morning and you work hard, and you hope not just to be able to make a living, but to be able to have a good life. And there is a difference. And it's not hope in the idea that your kids can get a good education and do better than you did. It's not hope in the idea that, God forbid, you get sick, you don't have to file for bankruptcy. And it's not hope in the idea, if you're like my sister and brother-in-law, who have that really cute little guy I talked about that's 1.5 years old, who happen to be soybean and corn farmers, that you can work hard on your family farm, pass that on to the next generation without waking up every single morning right now, worried about your future because of a trade war this administration decided to start on Twitter. It's about all of the hopes that everybody here has today. It's why you showed up. It's about the hopes that we are hearing on the doors, that we're hearing on the phones. And I tell you what, hope is on the line and on the ballot here in 2018. And we cannot take a day for granted. right now, we're united. United not just as Democrats, not just as Iowans, but as a country that wants common sense and decency again. They want to take politics out of government and actually put people back in it. It's more important than ever, and again, it's why we can't take a day for granted. It's why we have to elect Brett Hubbell and Rita Hart to the governor's mansion. Make sure we send them there to actually invest in education again. We've got to make sure that we send Rob Sand to be our next state and make sure we look into this Medicaid mess that this state has created. We got to make sure we send Deidre DeGier to be our next Secretary of State to make sure that the right to vote and the ability to. We got to make sure we send Tim Gannon to be our next Secretary of Agriculture to make sure that small family farms are the ones that are being looked out for, not big corporate ones. And we have got to take back that state house. We've got to send Kayla Cater, Lori Egan, Tim Knutson, and we've got to send them there to make Mark Smith speaker so that they can fix the gutting of collective bargaining, they can fix the medical privatization, and they can actually, again, bring common sense and decency back to our state. And I'm asking you, humbly, for your support, for your vote, send me to Congress to make sure that we take back that U.S. House, that again we can be a state that makes sure that our voices are heard loud and clear. And everyone who said that this couldn't be done, let's show them what it's like to send a union daughter there to make sure that they are fighting for working families every single day. Do the same. When you get the phone call to go knock doors, to make phone calls, say yes, please. I'm asking you, I'm begging you. This is so important. Grab your friends, grab your neighbors. This race is tight. This is one that every single vote matters. And we, again, can't take it for granted. We have got to get this through the finish line. Hope will matter. We will win this thing. And we will be proud of our state, proud of our country, and make sure, again, that we bring common sense and decency back to it all. I want to make sure that we have some sign-ups here. So we have somebody from the Campaign for Iowa who will be able to tell you about how to get signed up to do this all. And again, I just want to end with, I promise to keep working hard. You do the same. And when we do this, when we flip this seat, take back that state house, we're going to take back our state and our country.